Hello miners, welcome back. It is time to get spooky. It is Halloween season. In honor of this time of year, we are going to be bringing things back from the dead. That is right. Today we are playing combo Reanimator. Now, this isn't that Reanimator deck running around there, the blue-black Reanimator that we all know is really Re-Froginator. No, this is all combo all the time. There's no mid-range backup plan. Even our transformational sideboard is to transform into another combo deck. So pretty much that's the whole plan of this. We're going to throw a big fatty in the graveyard, reanimate it, and win the game. Supporting that package, we got Vexing Baubles to shut off our opponent's counter spells. We got a whole shitload of discard to be able to throw at our opponent and at ourselves. We also do have the World Gorger combo in this particular build of the deck, which along with the Surveil lands from Murders at Karlov Manor, they actually are now able to get a definitive loop combo going, being able to blink your mortuary, or your underground mortuary, to be able to mill through your deck until you find another target to be able to reanimate, which is going to be your Archon of Cruelty, and set up so that the draw trigger off the Archon draws another animate effect to be able to get the World Gorger Dragon back and start just blinking your whole board and killing your opponent with the Archon triggers. So it's pretty much a single track game plan here. In the pre-board games, the sideboard, we do have the Witherbloom Apprentice Chain of Smog combo to be able to transition into when we think our opponent's going to be bringing in a whole bunch of graveyard hate. Fairy Macabre to be able to fight against opposing graveyard decks such as Re-Froginator, or if we do happen to run into another true Reanimator deck. It also has a little bit of fringe benefits up against like Storm and the Epic Gamble and stuff to be able to snipe an ill-timed Echo of Aeons or something similar to that, or be able to shut off tutors from a Gaia's Will line. And then Spoils of the Vault is just basically a way to tutor out your Chain of Smog combo after you post sideboard, since you're not relying on the graveyard, and chances of being able to entomb and reanimate your Witherbloom Apprentice aren't going to work because your opponent's going to have graveyard hate. But yeah, that is combo Reanimator. In honor of Halloween here, we are going to be bringing things back from the dead for fun and profit. So let's see if we can take the true combo version of Reanimator through a league, see how it fares up against the meta, and I will catch you all in the wrap-up. Alright, let's get spooky. Won the die roll. Let's see if we can turn one our opponents at all. Yeah, we can keep this. This is going to be land. Yeah, we're just going to go ahead and land, entomb end of turn, unmask them, try to go off. Hopefully they're not on a blue deck. Ancient Tomb, interesting. It's a Chalice on 1. Yes, that does not stop either of my reanimation spells. What do I want to get here? I think I want to get Grizzlebrand. Do I want to get Grizzlebrand? I think I want Grizzlebrand, because my reanimation spell is going to be a painless one, so I can actually draw 14 off of it. And I can actually save that for later as well. Typically, blue decks do not play Chalice of the Void, but I'm going to do this just for the sake of being safe, because I can't cast a Cabal Therapy anyways. Alright, it's Eldrazi, so we're going to have to worry about Kozilek's commands. I think we're probably going to want to take Thought-Knot Seer. I think the game's probably going to end here, but we're going to take Thought-Knot Seer just in case we need to. We'll always yield to Animate Dead, just so if we do get the combo off here, we actually can do some stuff. Play a Lotus Petal. Pay another 7. Do we hit another Lotus Petal? No. Did they have any lands? No, they didn't actually have any lands, so they still need a land to be able to do anything with either of these Kozilek commands. But I think we're just gonna go ahead and take them anyways. Like, we got a bunch of 1-drops we can't cast, so let's take both of the Kozilek's commands. Do I have another Unmask? No. So they're still going to have a Kozilek's command that they can get. I can't cast Thoughtseize. I can't cast Cabal Therapy. Yeah, that's fine. We're just going to throw a bunch of creatures in the graveyard, and they're just going to have to figure out a way to deal with them. So check all of our 1-drops, all of our creatures. We have 2 Dance of the Deads, plus enough mana to be able to do both. For some reason, I thought I had another Unmask so that I could actually, like, unmask them again, grab the other Kozilek's command, but they're only going to be able to theoretically take 2 creatures out of our graveyard. Okay, they're only going to be able to take 1 creature out of our graveyard. I don't remember if that Cavern of Souls was in their hand or not. They can go ahead and Cozy's command one of these creatures away. That's completely irrelevant to me. I mean, we're going to play land. Before we attack, we're just going to go ahead and do this. Like, there's no real point in doing this after attacks. Because they can Cozy's command this first one away. And then we have another Dance of the Dead to be able to grab the other one. Our opponent is Kozilek's commanding. They're going to make a spawn and eat that. That's fine. I have another one. Grab the other Archon. Always yield to this, so when I go to combo off, sack your spawn, discard a card. We hit an Entomb that we can't cast. Let's get in. I'm debating... There are worlds where they go off on some crazy fucking line with a Fleshraker here. I think we're just going to pass. I think we're better off waiting. If we have to emergency draw some cards with Gristlebrand because it's going to die, we can do that. But they're staring down lethal in a couple of different ways here. And they scoop it up. Okay, on to sideboard. We know our opponent is going to bring in Graveyard Hate. So I think we are going to pivot onto the Chain of Smog combo here. I think we can get rid of Vexing Bauble. Typically, when I expect Graveyard Hate, what I do is I trim some number of the redundant anime enchantments, and then trim down to one of each reanimation target. This is kind of the strategy I've been doing when I'm expecting heavy Graveyard Hate out of the opponent, and just hoping that this can do. The only problem with doing this against Eldrazi specifically is setting up the Witherbloom combo is much harder against them because you don't have the time to do it. But that being said, there are still some turn 1 win lines that this works with, so I think we're going to try that. So let's see here. I can unmask my opponent to get rid of Graveyard Hate. This is a turn 1 reanimate something, assuming they don't Chalice on 1 me right off the bat. If they Chalice on 1 me right off the bat, this is a little more awkward. Okay, Leyline. It's a little awkward. It shuts off me animating my own stuff, but I can always animate their stuff and just start swinging. Like, depending on what they do here, if they don't Chalice on 1 me here, I can take their Devourer. But this looks like a Chalice on 1, so this is going to be much harder. Yep, okay. So basically, we just have to hope that we can slow roll into our Chain of Smog combo, or they don't really do anything here. We Chain of Smog them to nothing, reanimate something. Like, hopefully this is what they kept their hand on. Another Soul Land into, like, a Thanatos here would suck. Or a Wasteland to take out my Bayou. I knew I should have let off on the Swamp, but oh well. Not a huge deal here. I am going to go ahead and do this. Fleshraker, Devourer, Kozilek's command. I think... because they theoretically can actually cast the Devourer, or the Fleshraker if they hit a land, so I think we're going to take that. That is the worst of the options to be able to reanimate, but theoretically if they hit a land, they'll be able to get the Devourer anyways. So we're kind of just hoping that they don't hit lands here. We hit another discard spell. They're Kozilek's commanding just for the sake of drawing a card. But they're looking for a land. They found their land. I would like a land to be able to Chain of Smog them. Or we hit a Cabal Therapy. Okay. Unfortunately, leading off on that Bayou might have been the death of us. They still aren't hitting what they need, though. Land? World Gorger. Okay, that's a thing. This one probably slipped away from us. Just not being able to find more mana here is kind of doing us in. Because as soon as they hit another Soul Land, they can play this Devourer, and we have no way to deal with it. So far, still good. They're also getting to the point where they're going to be able to select things to... They're going to be at a point where they can discard things without losing creatures for me to be able to reanimate. However, we were both kind of in a, well, shit kind of moment. But I was right that I would need to theoretically pivot onto the Chain of Smog combo. I'm assuming this is a Kozilek's command, which means Devourer comes down. I'll give this one more draw step, but this one's probably over with. Ooh, 2 topped? Okay. Yeah, we'll give this one more draw step, and then I think we're going to scoop it up and move to the next one. We just got mana screwed into oblivion. They had 2 lock pieces on turn 1, and we just never hit mana. Thought-Knots here? Yeah, we're just going to concede. Okay, we're just going to run it back. Alright, Dick, give me a good starting hand. Give me a turn 1 just to fuck them up. This is turn 1 if they don't have a leyline. We're going to keep it. They're probably going to mulligan for a leyline. But this is also a whole shitload of mana to try to set up something, and I can reanimate their shit if I hit a discard spell. We're just going to hope that they, like, mulligan into oblivion, never find a leyline. I know we're asking for a lot, but Also, the further they mulligan for a ley line, the less they're going to have to be able to do after that. So, ooh, okay. So no ley line. Interesting. So to play around Mindbreak Trap, what do we want here? We probably want Gristlebrand. They could have a Fairy Macabre, but it'd be weird that they have Fairy and Leyline, but it's not unheard of. We are running out the other one just because I want leftover mana. If they have a Fairy, this sucks, but it'd be weird that they would have Fairy Macabre and Leylines. That would be like super overkill. What do we have here? We do have Witherbloom Chain of Smog combo next turn if we want it. We're probably not gonna die if we go to 6, so we actually find the mana to be able to do everything. So let's go ahead. Whoops, not Chain of Smog. Unmask, targeting you. Let's get rid of a Reanimate, because I'm not going to be doing that anyways, just to make sure that the coast is clear. Devourer of Destiny, Flushraker. Okay, yeah. So the coast is 100% clear. We can just combo them out right now. Alright, cool. Nice little turn 1. I mean, we're just going to target ourselves here. Like, we know the coast is clear. And just chuck our hand. Yep, same targets. Sweet. And we took down Eldrazi. I like it. Already off to a good start for the Spooky Boys. Let's go. All right. Round 2. Won the die roll. Let's go. I mean, this isn't terrible if I can find a reanimation spell. Okay, so this is kind of risky, but I think I'm going to keep it because this does also work its way up to being able to just hardcast a Gristlebrand. So I think we're going to keep it. We have some selection by being able to go get Mortuary Mires off of these fetch lands. And I have a free discard spell to try to protect this. I'm going to lead off on the Polluted Delta, make them think that maybe I'm on Re-Froginator or something. Alright, lead off on the Delta, pass a turn. Hopefully we can hit, like, runner reanimation spells or something, or, like, Entomb into a Reanimator spell. Alright, opponent likes our style. Got it. They're actually on something blue-black, though. So this could be a Reanimator. Vexing Bauble. That shuts off my Unmask, but it shuts off their counter spells. So this is making me think they're actually on Doomsday. And that was poor sequencing. Oops. Sorry, opponent. Yeah, this is screaming Doomsday, so this does shut off their counter magic, though. So I like that a lot. However, if this is a reanimation spell, we actually have enough mana to be able to unmask our own Gristlebrand and reanimate it. So I would like to see a reanimation spell here. Honestly, can't say shit about them running a Lotus Petal into an onboard Vexing Bauble. I have done that multiple times. I run 1-drops into Chalice on 1 all the time. I always forget, because of the way like newer cards are designed for the most part, that a lot of these effects are symmetrical. Or I just completely forget that that particular permanent is on the battlefield. Alright, that should do it, right? Yeah. We want the reanimation spell, because this is going to be 6 mana. Alright, this is 6 mana. Get a G-Daddy down, because it's 4 for Unmask to pitch Gristlebrand, reanimate it with Animate Dead is 2 mana. Their counter spells are off. So unless they have like a main deck Fairy Macabre for some weird reason, where if this is in fact Doomsday, that's just not something they have. Cast targeting me. That being said, it means there is nothing else I can do this turn. But also our life total is kind of irrelevant, so it doesn't really harm anything just to draw stuff. And in fact, it could set us up for next turn to be able to win. Always yield to the Animate Dead in case I do have to try to go off. Well, we're going to draw, because if this is Doomsday, our life total is pretty fucking irrelevant. None of this actually matters. We're going to go ahead and go to 5, I think. If this is a weird version of Storm, we have some issues. That's fine. It's kind of weird that we didn't hit any reanimation spells here. But we're just going to discard a bunch of stuff here. Discard Atraxa, Gristlebrand, Unmask, Reanimate. Probably a fetch land, get rid of a few lands. Yeah, let's do something like that. If this does end up being like Storm, they crack their own bauble and pop off, so be it. But I'm not getting those vibes at the moment. Like I said, I'm very much getting Doomsday vibes out of what our opponent's doing here. Oh, maybe it is Storm. Either that or they're Doomsdaying right now. In which case, if they're Doomsdaying right now... Okay, it is Doomsday. So they're gonna go to 8. Or 9. I can bop them to 3. Which means I need to find a way to either play or reanimate a Archon to win. I'm going to have a whole bunch of looks to be able to do it. Alright, let's take a look at what this deck list looks like. Anything out of the ordinary in here? No, just a pretty typical personal tutor build here. I don't see frogs, so it doesn't look like it's the tempo version. I don't see, Song of Creation, so it's not like Doomsday Storm. Alright. I do have to find a way to kill them this turn. Another Gristlebrand. That doesn't do it. We're going to schwack in. We're going to draw another 7. And hope that in that 7, I am able to find a way to find a Archon to kill them. They're down to 3. Draw 7. Yeah, that does it. Let's go ahead and... play a land, play a dark ritual, play an entomb, go grab Archon of Cruelty, animate the Archon, and kill you. Alright, opponent took a second to let this resolve, which was kind of weird, but like I said, the only thing that saves them here is like some kind of weird main deck Fairy Macabre, which Doomsday doesn't play. Alright, there we go. Finally letting stuff resolve. We take down game 1. Alright, there we go, and they scoop it up. On to sideboarding. Okay, did a little quick research. It looks like they have mostly Fairy Macabres and Grafdigger's Cages, so I don't think we have to worry about a ley line, but I am going to go ahead and do the kind of normal thingy I do when I'm expecting a lot of graveyard hate. Since they do have counterspells, I'm going to keep the Vexing Baubles in this time, unlike I did against Eldrazi. But otherwise, I'm going to do the other thing where I bore down to one of each of the reanimation combo targets, and then just kind of evenly split the enchantment reanimators. Just because they're redundant. I don't want to take all of one out and leave only the other one. This plays around them surgicaling one and then all of them being out by being able to do a 2-2 split like this. I don't really want to take out any of my discard, but I do want to be able to win through a resolved Grafdigger's Cage or something if that's the plan, so let's try something like that. Alright, realized that I had forgotten to update the record. We're going to keep the shit out of this. Depending on what we draw, this is a protected turn 1 into a reanimation target of some sort. If we draw any black card, it is protected. Assuming our opponent doesn't Thoughtseize us. They could also do a turn 1 of their own to set up a pile, and then the chances of me actually being able to kill them with these resources are low, which it looks like that's what they're going for. Yeah, they're going for their own turn 1, so we got to figure out how we can string this together. Like, just a black card I'm willing to pitch to this unmask is the absolute best thing we could do here. And then we'd pretty much have to string our 14 into multiple Lotus Petals plus a way to get World Gorger Dragon. And, like, it's asking for a lot. Or we're asking for our opponent to have a pass pile, but if they're going for a turn 1 and they know we're on Reanimator, I highly doubt that's the case. We can also see, like, we'll see what's in their exile zone, count their counters, and go from there as well. They might, depending on what they do, they could also go for a pile that they're relying on fast mana, and hopefully a Vexing Bauble will slow them down. Alright, what do we got in this pile here? 1, 2, 3, 4 Force of Wills. 1, 2, 3 Force of Negations. 1 daze? So I'm guessing that means that they have daze in their hand. So all the Force of Wills and all the Force of Negations are gone. There's also a world where they just play out a Lotus Petal and start their chain now, but they're not. Like I said, a black card that I can chuck to this unmask would be the absolute best top deck here. Lotus Petal. Okay, I mean, that gets around a daze. So I've kind of got to just hope for the best here. They have no forces. They can only do 1 daze. I think I am going to go for the marginal deck thinning here. I'd be very surprised if they have 4 Force Negations in their sideboard. Grab a Bayou. Like I said, this gets around to days. Is there any world? No. If I do World Gorger Dragon, I just have an infinite loop, but it doesn't accomplish anything. Because I'm not drawing cards, I'm not surveilling anything into the graveyard. So it's got to be Gristlebrand. Where is Gristledad? I mean, I guess if they got a Surgical Extraction, that kind of kills me too, but we'll see. Doesn't seem like it yet. Unless they wanted that on the battlefield first. No, okay, well... do we find a way to make all of this work? There's a Chain of Smog. What do my next 7 show me? Like, not having more mana here is mildly problematic. That is a lot of reanimates. Okay. Is there any weird way I can make this work? I don't have a way to get a creature into the graveyard. I guess we just hope Thassa's Oracle is in their hand? Well, I have a bajillion reanimates. Let's see what they're working with over there first. Ponder Preordain, so I can take both. I can take both of their cantrips and hope that they can't start the pile. Because if I Thoughtseize, what was the other card again? The other card was a land. So I could actually Chain of Smog them, and then they've got to figure out how to do this without the Verdant Catacombs. And hope that this gets me somewhere that I need to go. Yeah, let's do that. We are going to Chain of Smog you. Get rid of your entire hand. Because unfortunately, the only way to get rid of this land is the Chain of Smog. And then we're going to play Vexing Bauble. Are they copying it back at me? It looks like it. Chuck a Reanimate, chuck a Cabal Therapy. No, I don't need to copy it. Then we're going to play a Vexing Bauble. So now they don't have any fast mana. But we do know that there's another land in their deck somewhere. It's probably the bottom card. Alright, then pass the turn. I don't think there's any way from an empty hand and with 1 land that they can go off from here. And I'm assuming their land is their bottom card. And they scoop it up. Okay, we took down Doomsday. Alright, I like it. On to the next one. Alright, round 3, racking up the die rolls. Let's go. This is a very defensive hand, but I need a way to get something into the graveyard. Do I trust myself to find a way to get something into the graveyard is the question. This has a lot of disruption. And even if I draw, I have ways to get into the graveyard. I think we're going to give it a shot here. We're going to start off with Swamp, Thoughtseize, see what our opponent's working with over there. Alright, Swamp, Thoughtseize. Let's see what our opponent's working with over there. Okay, oh, fuck, they're Nadu. Got it. Okay, Nadu Elves. We could take the ramp and then take the Nadu later, but let's just take the Nadu now to keep them from being able to have Force of Will if we find what we need this turn. We can always take the Green Sun Zenith next turn if we need to, and then we still have an Unmask to go for whatever we need to kill the opponent. Windswept Teeth cracking it. Are they playing out the bird or are they playing out the Green Sun? I'm assuming they're playing out the bird. Bird. Okay, yeah. So unless we hit an Entomb here, Mortuary Mire. That's a way to get something to the graveyard. Show me a fatty? No, reanimate. Okay. We can keep that then. And then go off next turn. Wow, another Nadu. Okay. I mean, I guess we're going to grab the Nadu. Okay. So this should be protected turn 2 or turn 3 win, because we have the Underground Mortuary, and they drew an Allosaurus Shepherd for turn. So we know that was their draw. We know this is their hand. I'm assuming this is a green... No, they're playing Corian Ranger. Okay. And then Gaia's Cradle. Okay, whatever they're doing here is all they're going to get to do. They can Green Sun for 3, which is probably going to get them a Nadu. But if it gets them a Nadu, they're dead. Okay, they got a Nadu. Okay, they're just dead. Because we know it's Dryad Arbor plus their Trop in hand. And then because of the fact that we have a Surveil land, this is deterministic with World Gorger combo. it's just going to... Oh, shit, that's not the right card. Oops. I was thinking that was an Entomb. I'm an idiot. Okay, well, I guess we're just going to have to fade a turn, or we can reanimate their Nadu for funsies. Shit, I'm an idiot. We're going to reanimate their Nadu. I don't know why I was thinking that was an Entomb, not a reanimate. I may have punted that into oblivion. That being said, they have no way to turn this Nadu on, and they can kind of just bounce off of each other at this point. So it just kind of depends on what they drew. Okay, now I'm just dead, because they can get a Bristly Bill, play their land, and then they just go off. Oh, or they just grab a Craterhoof Behemoth. Okay, yeah, we're dead. That was me being an idiot. If we had gone one more card deeper, would it have mattered? No, it wouldn't have. Okay, so me fucking that up wasn't a huge thing. Do the normal thing here. They seem much more green heavy, so I don't actually think they're going to have Force of Wills. So we're actually going to take the Vexing Baubles out and then do the rest of the trimming the reanimation targets, bring in the Chain of Smog combo, and go. Try that. Okay, so now we're going to have to worry about Endurance. Probably have to worry about that game 1. This is not keepable. This sort of is. This is Entomb Reanimate with Unmask backup. We're going to keep bottom the Reanimator. We're going to go ahead and do this. See what they kept their hand off of. Hopefully we can get their hate card. Green Sun, Fairy Macabre, Bird. Okay, so they have fairies. So we just got to dodge a draw step, basically. There's Wooded Foothills. And there's a bird. Okay, so we basically just had to dodge a draw step here. This is a little precarious. Looks like they're F6'd. We're going to go ahead and grab an Archon. Unfortunately, like, unmasking here isn't really going to do anything. It can stop a force. So we're just going to see if they have a force here, is basically all I care about. Okay, no force. They have a Green Sun Nadu. We take the Nadu. Reanimate the Archon. And they scoop it up. Okay, got game 2. I remember what my cards did this time. Now we also know that they have Fairy Macabre as their graveyard hate. Plus, I'm assuming Endurances. I still think it's correct to just keep it like this and run it back. So this is the Chain of Smog combo if I live long enough. So I think we're going to keep it. Our opponent starts out with a Verdant, gets a Trop, plays a Hierarch. I would like to know what my opponent's doing. I think I am most scared of them getting down a Nadu here, so I'm going to go ahead and just grab a Swamp. Cabal Therapy them. Let's do Nadu. Winged Wisdom. Alright, got a hit. They've got a Flusterstorm and a Force of Vigor also, so we're going to have to find a way around the Flusterstorm. But we kind of have a way out of that. That Force of Vigor is basically a dead card. It's not something we really care about right now. But we do care about the Flusterstorm. Alright, they drew a Wooded Foothills for turn. That's good for us. Get in for your 1, that's fine. Dance of the Dead. Okay, well, we're going to run out Witherbloom Apprentice. And then next turn, we can actually Witherbloom Apprentice, grab... Well, no, we should probably wait until we have 1 more mana to be able to Cabal Therapy away the Flusterstorm and be able to play Chain of Smog. Getting a Dryad Arbor, that's fine. Play the Dryad Arbor, okay. They could Natural Order next turn, which is mildly problematic, but not the end of the world. Or we just draw Cabal Therapy, and we should be able to go off now. Always yield to this. I guess it's going to depend what the other card in their hand is. Are they going to let this resolve? Yes, they are. Okay. They figure it's probably not worth flustering here. Fluster, okay, yeah, they're dead. Flusterstorm is gone. It's Nadu Force of Vigor. So we just deterministically win here as long as I don't fuck this up. Grab an untapped land. Chain of Smog myself. And that's game. That's a 3-0 already. Positive record is actually locked in already. Holy shit. The spooky season is smiling upon us, apparently. I will admit, it does suck I can't fully automate this. I do still have to actually manually click through all of it. But yeah, cool. This is kind of tearing it up. I like it. And 1 more for good measure. Just a casual 34-0. Alright, I like it. On to the next one. In round 4, won the die roll again. Holy shit, it's Eureka. So we're in for a combo matchup. Alright, let's see how a combo mirror goes here. I mean, this is a turn 1 Reanimate something if our opponent doesn't have a Force of Will. So we're gonna see what flavor of combo Eureka's on. Alright. Don't Force of Will me, bro. Grab a swamp. I probably should Dark Ritual here just to be safe, so that I have leftover mana, so that I can do more stuff with this Griselbrand. Oh, damn. Oh, not on a combo deck? Oh, come on. Eureka, come on. Playing the juke there, going for the tiered... Oh, no. Doomsday Frog? Okay, so it is combo. Okay, it is combo. You don't just play Street Wraith and Re-Froginator. Alright, so this is going to be Doomsday Frog combo-y stuff. That being said, I need to find a way to rebuild here. Another Unmask. Dance of the Dead doesn't do anything. We got past the turn. Alright, so they're going to get in. Getting their clue off of Tamiyo. See what they got to follow up with. Ponder. Alright, so the question becomes is... Well, we saw them pitch a frog, so this is probably the new, like, DDFT Doomsday Frog Tamiyo or whatever it's now being called instead of Doomsday Fetchland Tendrils. So their main combo is still going to be Doomsday. They're not the, like, Storm variant unless Eureka's on some abomination of a deck. And if they storm me out in addition to all of this other stuff, I'm just going to tip my hat and bow out right then. Alright, so Tamiyo's ticking up. I've only got a couple of turns to find a way out of this now. Like I said, another Unmask would be nice. Lotus Petal's okay. But once they draw half of their deck, they're going to have all of the counter magic in the world. Alright, Scalding Tarn. Alright, there's the frog, the little amphibian. Like, I'm not gonna lie, I hate the card, but I love the artwork. I used to actually work with Poison Dart Frogs. And this just reminds me of Dart Frogs with the, like, funky colors and everything, so I always got a soft spot for that. Vexing Bauble. That can at least shut down counter magic, in theory, if I can find a... Or they just got a Daze, but it gets a counter out of their hand. I'm not going to counter that, because if I do, then I'm not going to be able to get one of these fatties out of my hand and reanimate it in the same turn. Alright, gets a Surveil land. Getting another draw off a frog. They've got another draw in the bank. I'm curious if they're going to buy back a counterspell just to keep me off of being able to do anything. Or if they are just going to uptick to try to go for the Tamiyo ultimate. Okay, they're upticking, so this is it. This is my last turn to find something. And then it's a Hail Mary if it works, and it doesn't. Okay. On to the sideboard. Good game, good game. You almost got me there, Eureka. I was going to be very ashamed if you weren't on combo. Alright, as always, up against Graveyard Hate, we are bringing in the Chain of Smog stuff. Doing the trimming of the Reanimation package, and oh shit, I trimmed too many cards apparently. Whoops. Oh, I grabbed all the Griselbrands, that's why. Okay, get that Griselbrand back in there. Try that. Okay, let's see if we can claw back into this. Yeah, we keep this. This might be a protected... Like, if I wanted to just YOLO this into the sun, this is a turn 1 Chain of Smog combo, but I'm going to try to see if I can get a black card to be able to pitch to this Unmask first. I also could just be working my way up to more mana to just try to do this on, like, a turn 3 if I'm not dead. Okay, Grafdigger's Cage. It's a good thing that we pivoted. So, luckily, we are not on that plan at all right now. And I just want to see any black card, I think. That's any black card. And let's go for it. Don't have 2 counterspells. Force of Will, Daze, Ponder, Street Wraith. So we take the Force of Will. We can play around a Daze. Cycling the Street Wraith, looking for another Force. And that resolved. Opponents that got me good. Or sorry, got me nice. Yeah, the pivot is nice. But now they know what we can do, so they're probably going to bring any creature removal they have back in. So going into a game 3 against the Combo Master. Let's see which combo deck can prevail. I've beaten Doomsday once already. Alright. We have Unmasked, Double Entomb. Against my better judgment, I'm going to keep this. We have so many reanimation spells in the deck that I think this is worth keeping. If they lead off on a whatchamacallit here, Grafdigger's Cage, or they're just gonna or Doomsday on turn 1. Okay. Well, we're back in a position like this, so I need a reanimation spell, and I need it ASAP. Alright, Eureka, you're putting me to the test. Let's see if I can piece this together with one draw step on turn 1. I need a reanimation spell for this to work. Alright, let's see what's in here. We've got 1, 2... Oh, shit! Are you going for it? Oh god, do they just have the full turn 1 combo? Am I dead? Oh, no, juked me into a way that I can't theoretically win this turn now. Okay. So, there's a Thassa's Oracle in the bin. I guess I gotta hope that they have a Thassa's Oracle in hand, and that... Yeah, I guess I just have to hope that a Thassa's Oracle in hand, and that they don't have another one in deck? Tamiyo Daze. I mean, I guess we take... the days. We're probably just dead here. I can't imagine that they didn't set up their pile to win this way. Alright, there's 2 cards in deck. It just needs to be a land cycler and they got it. Playing Tamiyo. Okay. Interesting. Don't do it again. Can I? No. Wait. We took the days. How much mana is this? 3, 5, 7. Oh, I'm 1 mana short. Is there anything I can do here with this, is the question. Reanimate doesn't do anything. Alright, pass the turn. Alright. Show me the Thoracle. That was a cool pile, though. I've never seen someone do this with their pile before. And there's the Thoracle. Alright. At least we lost to a master. Good game, Eureka. This was super fun. Alright, final round. Won the die roll. I think we won every single die roll. This is a turn 1, but it doesn't actually do anything is the problem, because I don't have the mana untapped. We're going to hope that we find an untapped mana source and go for it on turn 2. I hope that our opponent doesn't turn 1 us. Well, actually, depending on how this goes, we could mill into a Griselbrand, get Griselbrand, but then we have to hope that we draw enough mana and enough cards off of our Griselbrand that we can start going off again. Is it worth going for it right off of the bat is the question. I'm sure... Yeah, we're doing it. Fuck it. I'm sure there's a way to do this. I am sure that there is a way to make this work. Actually, it's not turn 1 anyways. Okay, that's untapped mana. Totally forgot that this was a tap plan. Never mind. We're just going for it next turn. It's deterministic next turn if they don't ruin our plan here. Just plays a polluted delta and passes. Okay. Actually, it's not deterministic yet, because I can't get the World Gorger into the graveyard. I think I'm going to wait one more turn. Hope that I draw another discard spell or an Entomb style effect. I don't know why I was thinking I had 2 discard spells. Alright, another blue-black deck. They're going to Entomb. If this is an Archon, that would be... Okay, no, it's a Traxa. Okay. So, we're up against Re-Froginator. They're going to get an Atraxa. Wait, whoa, opponent. You just gave me a gigantic gift here. Yeah, you just gave me a huge gift, not reanimating that instantly. Assuming they don't have multiple counterspells. Force of Will, Daze, Metamorphosis, Fanatic. I can get around the Daze. So Force of Will is gone. Make sure I grab an untapped land. So they have to brainstorm into another Force of Will here. But they were setting up to brainstorm their Metamorphosis Fanatic to the top, is what they were trying to do. The best thing they could do... Okay, they're brainstorming first. I'll say the best thing they could do here is to fetch and then brainstorm, so then they know that they can put their Metamorphosis Fanatic back on top and miracle it if they find a Force of Will here. They could also have a second Daze. If they hit a Force, Okay, they're casting a daze. Does that mean they hit a second one? Possibly? They're surveilling. You're fine, Nahiri. Kept something on top. I don't like that. Okay, they did hit a second daze, but we have another Dance of the Dead. So hopefully that means they didn't. Yeah, let's put that on top. The hope is that they didn't find a Reanimate. If they found a Reanimate, that sucks. Okay, they did not hit a Reanimate. So we're getting to do this again with a Thoughtseize to be able to see their hand. Okay, opponent's brainstorming again. Alright, does Thoughtseize resolve? Yes. Force of Will, Animate Dead, Reanimate. I think I am gonna take the Animate Dead or the Reanimate, because then they can't just cycle a troll and instantly get it back, or find a way to get an Archon and instantly get it back. So I am going to take the Reanimates. And then I'm going to take Uratraxa and refuel. Always yields to this trigger. And they scoop it up. Okay, taking down Re-Froginator in game 1. I think we're going to bring in Fairy Macabres. Re-Froginator typically brings in Fairy Macabres as well. They typically don't have a ley line for Graveyard Hate. I feel weird bringing in Macabres and the entire combo. So I might just kind of do a split sort of thing. Bring in some of the combo. Trim some of my big stuff because it's really scary keeping that in the deck against our opponent. Trim some amount of this. Trying to think what else we want to do here. Like, it's scary keeping our big things in the deck because they can discard them and reanimate them. I want the Macabres so that they can't just super fast combo me. The Witherblooms are to fight against their shit. Maybe I'm going to do 3 and 3 instead of bringing the whole combo in. Trim some more of these. Let's trim 1 Cabal Therapy. Let's try something like that. Okay, I mean, I don't hate this at all, so we're going to keep this. Hopefully they don't, like, just combo us out right off of the bat. Okay, they're going to Thoughtseize. They're probably going to take the Chain of Smog. They see that we are on this. They might actually take the Entomb, actually. They might take the Thoughtseize. I don't know. We'll see. They take the Thoughtseize. Okay, so I'm going to have to name what I want instead of just blindly naming it. Well, they're going to know what we drew. Let's name Reanimate. Try to shut them off of a fast combo. Ooh, got 2 of them. Yeah. Okay. Okay. They do have a Daze and another Thoughtseize. But they have no blue mana for either of these blue cards. Okay, there's Thoughtseize. We might just play out Witherbloom Apprentice. They're probably going to take Chain of Smog here, if I had to take a guess. Because they know that we're working toward the combo. Yeah, okay, they took a Chain of Smog. Okay, they do have blue mana now. So Brainstorm and Daze are both live. Interesting. Because they can Brainstorm away whatever here, but it forces them to do it now. I think this is worth it. Yeah, because they're going to Brainstorm. They're probably going to tuck Daze, if I had to take a guess. I'm assuming they're tucking the Daze. There's no way they're keeping it in hand, because they're going to want me to name something that they don't have. Okay. So they've got 2 cards in hand. Let's name Force of Will. See if maybe they put that in their hand instead. Brazen Borrower Wasteland. Okay. That's interesting to say the least. I can sort of kind of play around that for a little bit. Oh, they put a Metamorphosis Fanatic back. Okay. With no targets, so they're just going to drop a 4/4 body? Okay. That's mostly okay. Could be much worse. Grab an Underground Mortuary. Hopefully we bin something good. Animate Dead. I think we're going to bin that. Dance of the Dead. I think we're going to pass the turn and see what happens here. We're probably going to Entomb on their end step. We can play around the Daze. There's the Wasteland. So we know it's Daze and Brazen Borrower in hand. So we need to play around Brazen Borrower. Let's put Archon in the grave, because this could kill the Metamorphosis Fanatic. Alright, we got the Reanimate, but no... Alright. Actually, we don't know the Daze is in hand, right? Yeah, no. We don't know that the Daze is in hand? Did they shuffle off of that Brainstorm? I don't remember. There's a good chance that Daze is back in hand now because they didn't shuffle, because it was Metamorphosis Fanatic into Unknowns. Yeah, we're going to pass the turn, see if we can get another land so we can play around Daze. This is giving them an ability to, like, hit their own reanimation spell. I also can only take so many more hits off of this Metamorphosis Fanatic. Alright, there's a land I wanted. Alright, I mean, we go for it. We can pay for a Daze. They can bounce it back to our hand, but it gets rid of Metamorphosis Fanatic. Do they have another Daze? This seems like they would. Oh my god, okay. Well, we have Dance of the Dead. We do have to worry about this Brazen Borrower, because Brazen Borrower can screw this up. I would love a free discard spell, or for them to tap out and do something here, but they're still not. We got another Entomb. Ew, Ghost Vacuum? Okay. I think they got this one. I don't think Lotus Petal does it. Yeah, we're just dead. Okay. We'll go to the next one. They got us. They just had so many fucking counter spells that game. I think we just run it back. Alright, final game of the final round. Let's hope our opponent doesn't just have like a bajillion fucking whatchamacallits. I think we keep this. It's a little wonky, but we're gonna keep it. Wait, show me a fatty I can reanimate right off the bat? No, we're gonna put that on top and keep it. Alright, opponent is leading off with the Thoughtseize, I'm assuming. Yes. Luckily, we have redundant reanimates, so we don't super care about that. They might just take the Dark Ritual because it's the one-off. No, they take one of the reanimates, that's fine. We're getting a Fairy Macabre. I think we're going to pass the turn, do this on end step. Like, there's something to be said about trying to go for it now to be able to reanimate it, but they probably have counters, and I don't want to blow them yet. Alright, they are cycling a Troll at Khazad-dûm. That's fine. I can eat that with Fairy Macabre if they go to reanimate it themselves. Which it looks like that's what they're doing. We'll eat that and the Thoughtseize. Fizzle your reanimate. And then we will surveil. I don't think I want a Lotus Petal. Mana is not a pinch point at the moment. That's a Chain of Smog. I like that a lot, actually. There's something to be said about just reanimating my Fairy Macabre, but I don't think I'm going to yet. They're going to cycle another Troll. Do they have another reanimate? No, they have a Psychic Frog, so I can try to reanimate their Troll at Khazad-dûm. Or they can just eat it. That's also a thing that can happen. Okay, I should have surveilled there, but I didn't. I'm an idiot. It's fine. Let's surveil here. Okay, yeah, we're putting that in the graveyard. Please don't have a Fairy Macabre. Alright, they have a Fairy Macabre of their own. Not cool opponent. Oh, they just have another Troll of Khazad-dûm I can take. Okay. Or I force them to eat it, which is probably the correct move here. Okay. They have two Fatal Pushes, which do nothing. Why did they not eat their frog yeah. Why did they not eat that in response? They should have ate that with their frog to prevent that. Interesting. I mean, if they got a Brazen Borrower or something, it doesn't really matter anyways. But they are dead much faster than I am. They do get to draw cards, though. So they're going to chuck their Fatal Pushes. Keeping one card in hand, whatever it is. Curious what their one card is here. I can go to 7. They can hit me to 1 next turn. They are winning the race if I don't find a way to deal with this frog. Alright, one of the cards was a land. Polluted Delta doesn't do anything here. It could cycle me into a whatchamacallit. There's a Surveil land, so they're going to be able to jump the frog and attack again. And then I have one draw step. Actually, no, I think I used all my Surveil lands. Just depends on how much. Okay, they've been to reanimate. That's fine. It doesn't change the clock. Ponder. Okay. This is incredibly close. The fact that frog fuels itself is kind of ridiculous. Alright, this is a hell of a draw step. Into a Barrogoyf. Okay. Okay. I mean, it just comes down to this. I used my last Mortuary Mire already. Show me a Apprentice at the top? Polluted Delta. Trying to think if there's anything I can do here. I don't think there is. Yeah, we'll just swing out. Yeah, this is game. That was super close. just chatting with the opponent, giving them the GGs. They said I made a nice call on that therapy. So thank you, Matt Bloody Couthen. Cawthon? Sorry if I mispronounced the name. Yeah, they admitted after the fact that they should have ate the troll. They just accidentally clicked OK instead of jumping with it. Do your thing. And I'm dead. Ending the league. All right, positive record. Positive record. All right, I'll give her that in the raffle. I like it. So at the end of that league, playing this deck was an absolute blast. It did everything it was supposed to. It did it consistently. We got to see every single combo go off throughout the entire league. It was just a blast to play. If you want to play something that is a true combo version of Reanimator, I highly, highly recommend this deck. I think Vexing Bauble is a huge addition to be able to protect your combo. I love the interaction between World Gorger Dragon and Underground Mortuary, being able to set up a deterministic line to be able to win the game using that. There is a weird corner case scenario where, like, all of your Archons and your Reanimation enchantments are the bottom few cards of your deck, and they just don't line up correctly, or there's not enough cards left in your deck to not accidentally deck yourself due to the Archon triggers, but that didn't come up, fortunately. But yeah, this was a ton of fun. The sideboard juke worked when we needed it. We got a couple of opponents with it that weren't expecting it. I will say the one thing I didn't particularly like about this deck in the current meta is that last round we were up against Re-Froginator. You see how awkward it is to have a deck with a bunch of fatties that your opponent can discard and reanimate, and then we got into some really weird situations where we're in these, like, we're going to try to reanimate your thing, and our opponent's trying to reanimate our thing, and you get into these really weird corner case scenarios and stuff, and then on top of it, with Frog being in those decks, it kind of just adds another layer of complexity where they can eat their stuff in response, and it turns into a whole weird dance, and you saw that and everything. In that last round, but the deck was an absolute blast. I wouldn't make any changes other than maybe to the sideboard Spoils of the Vault. I never really brought it in. It never really came up in a situation where I necessarily wanted or needed it. So I'm thinking maybe if you were to, like, replace those with some Barrow-Goyfs or something, just another threat that you can use against your opponent in matches where you're not going to be relying on the reanimation combo. Also, I will say, just a note, Grief is gone. Unmask is not Grief. It does a pretty good job imitating it for all intents and purposes, but not having a body that you can reanimate and then beat down with is a huge downgrade. That being said, I am glad Grief is out of the format. It should not be in the format, but just a note for anyone who's like, oh, well, the deck's unplayable because Grief isn't there, or the opposite of, like, oh, just replace Grief with Unmasked and it'll be totally fine. There is a difference. It is a downgrade, but it still works and it still filled the role that it needed to most of the time. Just not having that 3/2 menace body to be able to reanimate and reuse the ETB is a downgrade to the deck. But yeah, this deck was a blast. It was right on theme for the holiday season here, being spooky and bringing things back from the dead. So I hope you all had as much fun watching this as I did playing it. I will catch you all in the next video. And as always, stay salty. Thank you for watching the video. I hope you like what you saw. If you did, do me a favor, hit that like and sub button below. They are free ways to support the channel. And drop a comment, let me know what you like. Any kind of feedback you got, your opinions on my gameplay, the decks that I play, any of that kind of stuff. If you really like what you see, go ahead and drop by the Patreon. Become a patron, get to read some of my tournament reports and some stuff going on outside of just Magic in my life that I'm going to start putting over there as kind of my own personal blog. Also, you can do donation deck lists over there, just the price of a league if you have a specific deck you want to see, or you have an idea you want me to brew around, something like that, go ahead and do that. Nothing is required. It's always appreciated, though. Any donations go directly back into the channel, covering stuff such as leagues for donation decks or the rental program that I'm a part of. I am a small-time YouTuber. I'm doing this for fun. I really hope you all like what you saw. I truly appreciate you all stopping by. I will catch you all in the next video, and as always, stay salty.